Hey there YouTube! I appreciate I haven't been around much lately. I've been actively involved in several pursuits which have a tendency to take up most, if not all, of my time. I thought what I'd do today is get on and review a gorgeous piece of plastic. And they don't come much more gorgeous than this guy. This guy is Transformers Animated Blazing Lockdown. Now, I've reviewed this guy before, funnily enough. I reviewed the original Transformers Animated Lockdown, and he was simply beautiful. And this guy is absolutely no exception whatsoever. You know, it's a different paint scheme and different added accessory, but even so, I admit the accessory is somewhat redundant in the alt mode, but nevertheless, beautiful, beautiful aesthetic. And what I love as well is the fact that one of the accessories that it comes with, namely the engine block, can be used to attach to animated ratchet, which I think is a lovely touch. It takes the appearance of a rather accentuated muscle car, sort of a cross between a muscle car and a Batmobile, and I think the image it provokes is just absolutely dead sexy. In either mode, actually, this guy is just absolute sex. He's the equivalent of Transformers sex. Now, this guy was voiced actually by Lance Henriksen, and he actually, when he gets to the robot mode, he does have a little bit of Lance Henriksen about the face, rather sort of solemn, almost menacing, maniacal look to him. I mean, I'm not really generally a necessary fan of car formers as such. You know, I'm more sort of towards like the sort of Beast Era and Beast Machines, but this guy is just absolutely stunning. In fact, I wish I had the entire sort of... I bought the animated Lockdown version, and I also bought the Revenge of the Fallen, which sadly does not fit in with most of the toys that come out of that line, because it's far too good to be Revenge of the Fallen. And as we all know, the majority of toys that came from Revenge of the Fallen were just utter tripe. And what I love as well is the fact that you have this clear, almost magenta-ish pink windscreen that just adds so much appeal to this figure. In fact, the translucent plastic in general just offsets really, really well against the matte black. I'm glad it's not necessarily a metallic finish on this. I think it would probably look just like too out of place. You know, when we get to the robot mode, we actually find that he's somewhat more taller than a deluxe. Really, he's a bit. He's almost Voyager-sized in his appearance, and to have it fold up into a deluxe-sized figure, I think is very, very well crafted from Hasbro. Indeed, they could have actually done with like getting rid of the gold-looking plastic, although they invariably did that with later animated and Transformers Generations Reveal the Shield United figures, in the sense that they just had the standard grey moulded plastic, and I really, you know, I really don't care for that whatsoever. And although the paint apps are somewhat sparing on this version of Lockdown, I still think whatever they managed to give him is just absolutely beautiful. Now I'm going to take this guy to robot mode right now. I'm not even going to bother speeding it up, quite frankly, because there's nothing to it at all. Just get rid of that redundant piece of shit. And the engine block. Oh, that's the other thing that happens as well. It's got this strange forward section on the bonnet, which forms part of the robot mode's weapon as well. That's the other thing I really don't like about this figure. I mean, there's one thing I can say about this figure that really sort of gets my goat, is sometimes the ball joints have a tendency to pop off, and it's a bit of a shame, because in every other sense this is just win on so many levels. What have I done there? Ah, You know, it's not even a transformation that is necessarily difficult by any stretch of the imagination, but some of it is intuitive. And he just looks the business. From the skinny little arms to the over-accentuated legs, he is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I didn't really pick up anything from the animated line for quite some time, and the originals like Optimus Prime and the early Megatron, that just didn't seem to do it for me. And it was a shame because the stories were so amazingly crafted and the scripting was just amazing, but it's almost done now. And there he is. Oops. That's the other thing about this. The parts that have a tendency to fall off will always fall off. It's a bit shit, really. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, somewhat far taller than a deluxe figure should be from this class, but still a beautifully rendered figure. I love how it looks like there shouldn't be any form of articulation in the legs, but you've got these double jointed knees, which just adds so much. I mean, I've always been particularly very picky about the things that I buy from any line, particularly, but perhaps except the Beast Wars figures. I know that some Beast Wars figures are absolutely horrid, and yet there are other sections of the lines which stand out exponentially far above anything else, and this is one of these guys in terms of the animated line. I mean, Optimus Prime, we've all seen an Optimus Prime, and I find the Optimus Prime from animated a bit nah, to be quite honest, but when the latter one started coming out, I mean, animated Blood is simply gorgeous. This guy's gorgeous. Animated Blackout that I got from Auto Assembly last year, again, is just an absolutely gorgeous figure, and it looks like, you know, they've taken their time with these. I think this version works a hell of a lot better, probably than the animated Lockdown that I've got. I mean, at the moment at the moment I'm reviewing Gerard Wolfgang 1's blazing Lockdown here. As he said, I could, so thank you. I mean, articulation-wise, I mean, there's several joints up in the arms, the hands. The hands are a shame. The hands don't come all the way out. I guess that's to add to the general aesthetic of it. I guess that's okay. I mean, it's a minor complaint, really. But I mean, you wouldn't expect such a tall, imposing, and beautiful robot to come out of such a squat deluxe vehicle. I mean, if you can get hold of this guy, I would do. I mean, I do believe that he goes quite cheaply. I know Gerard only got this one for about £6.50, really, which is quite incredible considering the craftsmanship and the work that's gone into it. Even the moulded detail on the face, I don't know if the camera's going to get that. The face is stunning, stunning work. But yes, that's blazing Lockdown. Beautiful.
Greetings, people. It's Gerard here, Wolfgang 1.
And George, Exaggerated Elegy. Hey, YouTube.
Well done. Yes, what you've just seen is what shouldn't really be attempted at home, really.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
no.
not.
Involve trained actors. Trained actors.
Oh yeah, fucking Shakespearean trained, yeah.
Well, yeah. So fucking dangerous, mentally speaking.
I hurt my back.
I hurt my head.
Well, it's just getting into my mind today. That's cheery. Basically, we want to see other people take part in parodying a particular review. Now, if any of you are interested in doing this, send either me or my lovely assistant George here a PM and with your names and interests. And what we will do is we will pick out of a hat each week, or however long this lasts. We'll pick out of a hat who is going to parody who. yeah, I think it'd be quite fun. I want to see as many people take part in this as possible. So, George?
Absolutely, as many people who can get involved as possible. It's a little bit difficult to get people's mannerisms and whatnot, but incredible fucking fun. And, you know, it's just lovely seeing something a wee bit different amongst our little community. So, if you want to get involved, send Gerard or myself a PM, or even sort it out amongst yourselves. You know, if there are two people out there who really feel comfortable parodying one another, go ahead, do it, leave it as a vid response to one of our vids, and we'll see how it goes from there.
The only thing I will stress is this is done in absolute jest and fun. If anybody decides to do this parody thing, I don't want to see anything particularly malicious aimed at any one person, otherwise you just take the fun out of the whole thing. Absolutely not. If that happens, I will do a rant vid about you and I will excoriate your soul. And I'll probably just write a very strong worded letter. Yeah, I think that's everything. Absolutely. Until next time, people, take care. Ta-ta.